Hello, are we live? We are waiting for Kingslayers and Temple of Kings to ready up. While we do that, do you have any interesting scoop about either of these teams?
Both of the junglers are called Ash the Crushes, and
Oh,
we'll find out which one of them is better today.
so who gets to keep the name? That's gonna be the fight about.
I think like one of them's keeping it regardless. To be fair,
Interesting. It could be a fanboy,
yeah,
Um,
I'm pretty sure one of them's a fanboy of the other one. Which one? I don't know though.
yeah. So it's gonna be interesting if they have a similar play style and they would probably gravitate towards similar champions. It'll be interesting to see, of course.
Honestly, the one with the lowercase c, I think, is the better jungler for sure.
Okay, damn, that was like shots fired. I mean, I can't wait to see what these teams have been cooking, honestly. And really, in general, there's been like I mean, the upcoming season has a huge number of changes, and I'm pretty excited. What do you think about that?
It'll be interesting to see as well. Like, I think this time the biggest thing is there's no preseason, right, for us to experiment with the changes. We'll just be like diving right into the ranks season, like as the changes come live.
Yep, yep. And it's kind of like a lot of things are happening, and while we say that we do get into the draft, um, and I'm hoping to see some of the main champions being banned. First being Jax. Of course, Jax is an annoying champion to be playing against.
Yeah, Dead Corpse has a lot of experience playing Jack, so it makes sense for him to be banned.
Who
He played
dares
last time the
defy
Asian
my
game as well,
will?
if I remember correctly.
Damn, that's nice. And then we have a
Jarvan,
Jarvan then.
he's just a great early game strong jungler
Spear
that's
will
good
find
into
your
like most
back.
comps, so I'm not surprised to see that being banned out either.
Yeah, and I can see all of those, targeted bans coming in, even for, let's say, Pantheon.
Yeah,
That I'm
probably
pretty sure.
again targeted ban at the top lane, although I'm not sure if they play in mid as well.
Yeah, they
Good
do
ban
have,
overall.
and they have Fiddlesticks ban as well. So it seems like that either of the teams are focusing more towards the top side of the map. So a lot of ADCs are still kept open, and I would expect them to see a couple of ADCs being picked if there is no ADC bans in the third and the fourth.
Yeah, generally to be fair, like most ADCs fulfill like a similar role in like most positions, right? So it's a little difficult to get it banned out unless there's like one particular champ that many player like excels at more than the others.
True, and it's not like as if ADC is an important role these days, anyways. I mean,
Well,
it's
that
good.
depends on who you ask.
Yeah, true. But right as we said, fresh ban coming in, so I'm hoping to see the bot lane being picked first, or maybe they might want to close out their top side of the map just to avoid further bans.
Yeah, it would make sense to have like the bot lane or jungle picks first, as I say that like the Diana, which I'm assuming is probably headed to the jungle,
Yes, that's
as
gonna
it
be
also allows
interesting.
for like some AD picks in top and mid.
Could it be a Diana Yasuo combo? I mean, I would be excited to see that.
I'm not sure if Catbot aka Red really plays Yasuo. I haven't seen him on it, but it would be fun.
Yeah. And there we have it. Caitlyn really strong in the lane, quite oppressive as well, and immediately Zinzao gets picked as the jungle, I'm hoping.
Yeah, Zinza should be going in jungle. He's an early game dueler. Should be good into the Diana as she looks to farm.
Ash in response to the Caitlyn. That's a good pick, if you'll ask
Yeah,
me.
she generally is like pretty good at like neutralizing the range. Very safe, long range ADC. The skill's pretty decently too, so should be good.
Yep. And I'm hoping to see more of top and mid bans in the second round of bans.
Yeah, for sure.
Is the infamous Katarina going to be banned? Okay, a Soraka and an Ash bot lane.
That's a pretty good and strong lane in bot lane at the moment. So we'll probably see them being ahead, I would imagine, depending on like what support is picked.
Okay.
I say that Blitzcrank. It's a very feast or famine champ. If you can land the hooks, it'll be difficult for the Soraka and Ash to survive. But if he's unable to convert those, pretty useless.
True. But still, I feel that
No
bot
cure for
lane.
fools.
Oh, right. As we talked about
Yes,
Diana and Yasuo, it's being
good to
immediately
know.
banned. So I'm hoping all the bans are going to be focused towards the mid lane.
It does seem like it's going that way so far.
Yeah, I'm hoping there's going to be a Katarina ban, or maybe not. Let's see. There's still a lot of control mages left out, like Oriana, maybe even the Ari. Certainly ban, surprisingly. Alright. Both of the brothers have been banned out.
No win in this game.
Yep. So it's gonna be top and mid that's left to pick. So let's see what they're gonna build on
They
this.
should
I would
probably pick their mid laner here and give the counter pick to the top laner, I would imagine.
I would still prefer to have a really solid tank up top, because, but okay, they're picking.
They picked Nocturne. Does that mean Zinzao is going top
I
lane?
mean, it could also mean a Nocturne mid lane, right? Functions very similar to Pantheon. Like once you clear out the waves, you can still out like alt bot side of the map.
Yeah, fair enough. Although I haven't seen that pick in like a really long time. Should be exciting though.
Is it that going to be a Malphite lock-in?
Yeah.
No, it's an Horn.
Both are great picks, honestly. Here, it's very difficult for the enemy team to really play into them because like they have almost exclusively AD damage so far. Hoping to see like a magic damage champion.
Yeah, they should round it off with an AD mid laner in Talent. Alright. I mean, I've never really seen how Talent and Diana go together, but anyways, so there's a Gwen being picked up on the other end, like you asked, an AP damage dealer.
So far, I honestly think the draft for like blue side is significantly better. I think that I really don't like the Blitzcrank pick, and I'm not sure how the Zinza Nocturne is gonna work either. But it'll be exciting to see, of course. I do think that if Red Side can get a lead, their champions can snowball and take over the game. But I think, like, considering that both teams are pretty good, I think it's easier to win with the blue side draft.
Yes, as you say it, right? The first thing that comes into my mind when I think about Blitzcrank is early game invade. So I'm pretty sure that they have something cooked up. And in response, the other side also might have certain read into their opponents. Hopefully, nothing happens. But if they do, as you said, get a little bit of lead early up in the lane, that's going to be disaster for the blue side. I mean, Ash and Soraka is already going to be playing a lot defensive. So
Honestly, like, I think it a bit difficult for the red side to look for an invade because even though they have a blitzcrank, their level one is not particularly strong compared to the other side, I feel. So I think unless like they are able to just like outbrain them and like find like a pick in the early levels, I don't see that happen.
true. I'm pretty sure like Gwen is also not going to be gonna. I mean, not going to use a flash. I'm thinking it's going to be a teleport and ignite. Just looking at the solo queue alone. But what do you think the keystones are going to be for the bot lane? I personally prefer fleet footwork on Caitlyn. I'm not a big fan of lethal tempo. Um,
In this lane, like I think you do have to go fleet so that you can actually like hit them and walk away because Ash in general also like has a lot of slows in like her entire kit, right?
mhm,
I think if you take lethal tempo, it becomes really difficult to lane.
true.
You need like some extra power in lane, especially with the blitzcrank, because you're just going to get pushed in. Like if the Soraka plays well, and without it, it's even more rough.
True, true. And if you, like you said, I mean, the entire scaling advantage is on the blue side. Not just because they have the Ash, they also have the On, who can just give out items as soon as he hits level 13, right? The other side, it's very snowbally. They do get the lead, they can keep it going, but also depends on how strong their macro is going to be in the entire.
Yeah,
Um,
honestly, like the pressure of like execution is completely on the red side. Blue side doesn't really have to worry about much except not like giving over too much in the early game.
you know,
As long as they can weather the early game storm, like they should be very good to go.
True. And it's also depends on the kind of jungle that's going to be played. Is it going to be a Zinzao in the jungle? Is it going to be a Nocturne in the jungle? I'm pretty curious as to how they're going to switch it up.
Yeah, that is true as well. Actually, no clue where either of them are going, but I would like it more if the Zinzao is mid lane. But either way, like it just seems a bit of a desperation draft. And
Ye-
there's like they still have the Gwen in case like they don't get too far ahead early for them to scale, but I still don't think it's gonna end up mattering too much.
True, true. I mean, even if you do end up not getting the kind of advantage that you expected early in the game, you still have a Gwen that can kind of be a split pusher later on.
Yeah,
And
but like it's tough for her to like really do much against like a Talon in the side.
yeah, there are a lot of, I don't know, juxtaposing ideas thrown in. Like the Zinzao doesn't want anyone to come next to you, but the Nocturne wants to like jump into them. I mean, I would have preferred if they had an Oriana and a Nocturne. That would have been an amazing combo that they could have executed on. But they have some ideas, I hope.
Luring into the game, we do see that the Caitlyn has the lethal tempo that you mentioned.
Right. I don't
Mm,
know. He has something, some different ideas. Maybe, as I said, it's really hard to kill the on ones later on in the game. That's something that you'll have to think about.
Honestly,
Even
like I don't feel like it's your job to deal with the own in this game as the Caitlyn anyway. Like you probably want your Gwen to be the one dealing with that. But we'll see how it ends up going out. Maybe I'm wrong.
yeah, and we also discussed whether Nocturne or Rinzao is going to be in the jungle. Looking at the spells, we can see that Nocturne is going to be played in the jungle and Zinzao is going to be played in the mid lane.
I do like that more. I think Zinzao is a significantly stronger laner and can actually like go not just toe to toe. I think he straight up just beats the Talon, but I don't have too much experience with the matchup, so I can't be certain about it. But yeah,
True. And as we see it, there is a pause as soon as the game loads in, which we should expect out of all of the games. But I don't know. I think it's going to be a standard cover on all the entrances. But they are
uh,
for some reason rushing to the top side of the map. And is Gwen going to be getting
they're
caught?
just doing like a stack for the invade, but unknown to them, the red team's actually going for an invade on their bot side instead.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty interesting to see. Is he going to end up staying there and taking away the red buff from the other side of the jungle?
I honestly think that red side got a little lucky that they didn't end up invading the other side because I think if they ran into the blue team, they probably
Oh,
lose.
they would have been instantly eliminated. I mean, I can't really imagine how much Ash slows are gonna hurt earlier on in the game. I mean, she once she hits you once, they're just gonna stick on to you. But Nocturne and Lana both are opting to start from the top side of the map, and Blitz is slowly sneaked into the bush here. So let's see if
Uh,
this.
Zinzao managed to get a ward up on their Raptors, so they know that he's not where he'll start in a minute or so. And Talon tried to do the same thing, but unfortunately had to stop. But they still saw Nocturne on the top side, so both the junglers have a rough idea of where the other player is.
True. And even on the both side, you can see that they're kind of aware of them being in the bush and kind of pinging it out. So I don't think there's any advantage going to be gained for them just by staying in the bush. They did lose two minions. That's sad.
Yeah,
But
they managed to like they understood that the Blitzcrank was looking to cheese them and played accordingly and did not end up giving away any advantages, which is great for them. Because as I said earlier, like the entirety of the pressure lies pretty much on them.
Whoa, mid lane is an all-out brawl going on between the Talon and the Zinzao. They just exchanged an ignite already, but the kill has not been secured. Is this a really bad position for Zinzao to be in?
Yeah, honestly, like as Zinza, you really want to be like winning your lane because you don't really scale particularly well. So it's a little
True.
unfortunate to see that.
And
However,
Talon did make a
Nocturne's
mistake, but he had to expend the flash. Nocturne flashes back in and roots him, and there goes the first blood. A little bit of unfortunate mistake.
yeah, that is an error that was preventable. He did take an extra tired shot and knew that the Nocturne should have been topside, but it's all right. It happens. Not too much to complain about that.
All
Diana looking
right.
for an invade onto the Nocturne. I'm not sure if she wins this because of lethal tempo.
Yeah, but why would you do that? I mean, that was just a free kill. Now Nocturne is already 2 kills up. That was really unfortunate
And Blitzcrank with a great hook and another kill onto
for
Caitlyn.
Soraka. I mean, that was not completely uncalled for when the entirety of your jungle is still up. And if Nocturne does know about it, he might try to go back in and invade. But no, he's just happy with the 2 kills that he got. And look
That
at,
invade was a little puzzling, yes. And
oh
a
my
solo kill in
god.
the mid lane as well.
Yeah, that was interesting to watch. Just whacking the talent. Once he just sticks on to you, there's no escaping that. The third knockup really coming in clutch for the Zhao. And I mean, right, we said earlier on the red team has to get a lot of lead, and looks like they are just doing that, you know?
Yeah, I guess they're not crumbling under the pressure and actually handling it really well. Like they are making the plays that they need to. But honestly, I would put this more on the blue side messing up rather than the red team really making any exceptional plays so far.
Yes, it's all about they're reaching a little bit too far ahead to even they don't have to do so much. They can just sit back and try to get. And look at that, another invade coming in from Ash the Crusher, and this time maybe on the wrong side of the map here. Nocturne goes down first, but you can see the Zinza going in. Diana falls immediately, but the red side team is routed now. There could be an easy kill on Blitzcrank. He can't do anything.
Yeah, honestly, like that was pretty good. I think it's mostly an even trade, but it benefited blue side a little bit more. I think with the kill onto the Talon.
Yeah, now that he can easily get those items that can help him clear the waves faster and rotate faster. But a really questionable invade coming in from the Diana, but somehow it worked out in their favor, I guess.
I don't think she was looking to invade, just warding so that like their bot lane could like
Push
be
a
a little
little
bit
bit.
more aggressive.
And then the force
Th-
comes in.
there seems to be a pause because of internet issues in the chat.
Mhm. So let's just talk about the state of the game right now. Zinzao's already 2 kills in, but he hasn't gone back to spend his gold yet, I believe.
Yeah, the red side team's actually already like more than 1,000 gold up at this point, which is a good start for them. I would like to see them build up on it. I think like about 18 to 20 minutes in, they should roughly be around like 5,000 gold ahead based off of their team comp. Otherwise, they're in like not the best of positions. If the blue side team can prevent that from happening, I think they are very likely to win.
Most definitely. And the Zinzao really has to back right now to get his items. But he still has the double buff, so a little bit on the okay. That was completely unfortunate.
Some issues with the
Spectator bug, yeah. Once the
yeah.
force comes back up, it keeps
Oh,
doing that.
solo kill from the Talon onto the Fed Zinza. Things are not looking good for him.
Yeah, I mean, Zinzao should have respected it and gone back to spend his items. I mean, spend his gold to get the items, but he just overstayed his welcome, I guess. And once the ignite was back up, immediately Talon capitalized on it and got the solo onto him.
Nocturne's trying to look for a lane gank into top, but doesn't seem like anything's gonna come out of it. Thankfully, though, he's not spotted. As such, blue team cannot really just go into the dragon.
True, but then again, it's an on. You really don't want to dive in on. You're already level 6 also. So wisely they back off. Now they're setting up for the Drake. The things going on, trying to find where this Diana is. You can see Blitz teaming up with the mid laner and trying to get a little bit of vision around that side.
The Nocturne, I think, has been spotted. We'll see if the Talon respects it or not.
Oh yes. Nocturne's still level 6, sorry, level 5, though he doesn't have access to his paranoia yet, so he probably will get to level 6 as soon as he finishes his levels. A little bit of trading going on the top side of the map, but nothing really to worry about. You can see Diana hovering in mid lane as well. I mean, that could be.
Honestly, I would like to see the blue team look for a dragon. They have prio both in mid and bot lane. It would be great if they do that. Seems like that is what they're doing.
Yeah. And
Honestly, I think this is really bad for the red team to be
oh, a
giving
hook
away
being
early
landed
damage.
on Ash, and that could be a kill. Already taken, Ash being down. Now Soraka doesn't have anywhere to run. She's being chased down and easy double from the bot side of the map. Now Talon comes in to save the day, but he gets hooked onto the trap. Now that is gonna go a 3 for null to the red side of the team. I mean, that's a good trade if you ever ask me. A dragon for just 3 straight up kills and 2 onto your ADC. That's beautiful.
I think it's a bit neutral for sure. Like, I think
Hmm.
I would probably be happier though if I was in the red team's position. Because realistically, like, once the dragon's gone, you aren't looking for a soul end at this point anyway. So it's best to get as much gold as you can under your belt. Would like to see them maybe rotate for like a Rift Herald play here because they didn't really bother to get the plate. Blitzcrank does seem to be going towards mid lane, so maybe the Nocturne and Gwen will look for the Herald.
Yeah, now you can already see Diana being, I mean, hovering on the top side of the map. So the next play is definitely going to be the Herald. But even though they get to ping it, Jinza is always pushed under the tower, so the talent is there for the play
They do
earlier
have the
than
numbers
the enemy.
advantage at the moment, so I think this should be given over by the blue side. I don't think it's worth contesting.
Yeah, now Talon is gonna be slammed and he flashes even though he misses. I mean, that was a really, I don't know, very last minute flash.
Yeah, I think he wanted to flash towards the wall so he could E over it, but unfortunately just wasn't able to do it in time.
All right, so now we are in a really intense battle between the number one and number two teams in India, the Temple of Kings and the Kingslayers. What a name to have!
There's a solo kill top lane looking like.
Oh, definitely the Gwen might go down, and she does go down, but mid lane, the Herald has been charged in, and Talon loses his life just trying to reach for the kill on Zinza. But this is what happens when you don't have a really, engaging support and bot lane. Even though you know that this tank is not with the Caitlyn, you really can't do any, plays down at bot lane.
Zinza teleporting top to cover the wave that was crashed by the on. Smart play from him. I like that.
Yeah, they did get the first tower, so they are just covering their bases now. Gwen is going to rotate to mid. Oh, they did not get the first tower.
Yeah,
Interesting.
they weren't actually able to get it because they were left a little low health after the fight mid lane.
All right, Paranoia goes in, gets a flash from the Soraka. Now that's another point that you can visit back again. For now, everything is a little bit quieted down, so people are looking to get at their first items.
I think
Uh,
like the red team like is actually in a really good position, and if they can force a good fight, they should be favored to win.
yes, most definitely. But as you can see in the top side, there's a little bit of advantage, at least after the solo kill, I would say. But it seems like they've switched up the lanes, trying to make the Gwen farm safely a little bit.
I think the swap just happened because the Zinza happened to teleport top lane, although they haven't swapped back since. So maybe you're correct.
Yeah. They're probably trying to reset, once I've shoved it in the turret, I'll probably go back to top lane. But that's not happening because On and Talon both are better wave clear compared to Gwen or
Yeah,
Zinzao.
honestly, I don't think it's actually a good lane swap for them. Like if they plan to keep it, because Gwen isn't particularly good against the Talon, and the Zinzao, especially like with his early game strength, is a little bit neutralized by the on with like the Jackshaw completed already.
All right. So Zinzao is in the sorry, Talon is in the wrong side of the jungle now. Zinzao is under the potential threat of a dive. Immediately on horn comes in, lands double knock up and gone.
Yeah, I think he just had to respect that and walk away earlier, but there wasn't much he could do once the on came into range of the knockup. Gwen's looking to try save the turret, and I think she should be able to, considering they cannot really dive again, I believe.
Yep.
However,
And
since the Diana spotted top, the other team responds by looking to take the dragon.
yes, and for those viewers who are here, our semi-finals are happening in the Discord watch party, and it's between the top Sri Lankan team and the top Bangladeshi team. And if you are any of their fans, head out to our Discord, go to our watch party channel, and it's going on. Those will be, I mean, whichever team wins there will be fighting against the team that wins this match. So it's an exciting matchup back to back.
Yeah, it'll be really fun to see whichever team can get to the finals from the other side as well. So far, what do you think? Who wins this matchup, though? The one that we are streaming at the moment?
I mean, if red team has a good macro, there's no way that they're going to stop the snowball. You can already see Nocturne taking away entirety of the bot side jungle and having to respect this fed member. He's 6-1 now. Look at this talent just
Well, the
walking into
Talon has
him.
to face check, but he's a
He
Talon.
just
He
jumped,
just
yeah.
jumps away.
But still, you can see the oppression coming in at least on the bot side of the map, right? This is what we were talking about earlier on. These champs are pretty strong, and you just have to respect them. But On comes in to rescue them, but a good spell shield, I believe, saved Nocturne from the knockup. Little bit.
Honestly, though, I'm not sure if I like that necessarily because I think that lets Gwen like hit the turret, which makes it easier for her to take it at a later stage.
Oh my god, the damage coming in from Zinzao is unbelievable, man. He's built a great, like a ruined king, and he has so much heal and so much damage as well. You would not expect. I mean, he's not even tanky.
Yeah, Zinza like pretty sure like beats almost anyone in a 1v1 at the moment besides maybe the on.
Yes. And Diana comes in, ults the Zinzao. He still has his ultimate to save himself from Talon goes in. Nothing can be done, to be honest. Flash comes in from the Zinzao, saves himself. Maybe,
That was
sadly, no.
actually really unfortunate for the blue team. The Zinza ult barely saving him there.
Yeah, and also the red buff on him helped him out as well. I mean, the jungler. They were a little bit close. I mean, the Diana ult really look favorable for the blue team, but I guess it's a Zinzao. He keeps healing as soon as he starts autoing you. It's annoying.
The next objective coming up is the second herald. Usually most teams don't prioritize it, but I would like to see the red side team look to play towards it since they're on a bit of a timer still, despite their lead.
True. And if they could get this herald, they could break top side of the map as well. And as you can see, Gwen is already switched out to bot. The idea is there to get the Herald. And you can see from the other end as well, On being the strongest member and a very good team fighter, trying to move across mid lane. And Talon did not expect that hook coming in from Blitzcrank. He could possibly try and escape this with a sliver of his health. Now Nocturne is in the line of fire and he gives them 900 bounty. Oh my god. That was
Honestly,
a
I'm not sure if I liked that from the Nocturne because honestly, even if he gets the talent, I don't think it's a worth trade for him.
true, especially when we were talking about taking the Herald, right? That was the play, and really, you being the jungler should not have tried to overcommit to that kill, especially as soon as you saw that on going up, you should have just disengaged. But little bit overestimating their abilities to get the Herald, and Zinza just like completely unanswered here, going in, bullying the Diana, letting getting a kill on her, and now Talon's in the line of fire. He's down as well. I mean, I think at least from the other side, look, they have to slow it down a little bit, farm
The,
a little bit, get some items up their belts before trying to take these fights.
that's true. The game so far has been quite messy, honestly, with neither of the teams really looking that clean. Hopefully, they can pick themselves up and start doing a little bit better.
Yes, and like you said, Gwen has so much free time on this turret by herself. And look at that, she's already got like a 40 CS lead over the Ornn, and Ornn being Ornn,
Yeah,
poor
honestly,
guy.
like the scores might actually like deceive you a little bit there because like you see the Ornn as 2-0 and the Gwen 0-2, but it's actually the Gwen who has the goal lead at the moment.
Yeah, and he goes down as well, trying to go reach for this farm here. It was a I mean, Zinza was now equally strong. He's got a couple of items under his belt that can really melt down the on as well. So yeah, a really, really good swap, or I would say a good play coming in from the Gwen. She's just like chilling, farming, getting her items. She's happy, even though she lost that 1v1.
This has also allowed the red side team to go look for a dragon. The second dragon of the game shouldn't be too much of a problem for the blue side team to give it up, but they
Oh,
need to start looking a little bit more carefully from maybe after two more.
yeah, most definitely. And they should avoid being caught like this in the enemy jungle with the hand and the cookie jar. What was the Soraka even doing there, trying to get a war when your jungler was not even bot side? It was clear that you were not going to contest for this Drake. I mean, those two kills were really not.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
like there just wasn't maybe the best of communication internally on the blue side team because you can clearly see that their team wanted to give up the dragon. However, the Talon and Soraka, despite knowing that the enemy team's on the red, or sorry, not the red, but the dragon, still went in and overextended a little too much.
yeah, and Soraka had to use her flash as well. I mean, the next team fight, she probably doesn't have that, and that could be a point where the red team gets to attack them. So
Yeah, at this point, it's very difficult for her to survive because of how strong the Nocturne, the Zinzao, the Gwen are.
a little bit of teasing going on between the two top laners in the bot side of the map. Anyway, all funs aside, red team really has shown up today, and Zinza was unfeared and uncontested in all of his endeavors. He's just walking into the jungle, taking the Gromp away, taking the Ools away with nobody to answer him.
So far, looks like they're trying to maybe go for a pick onto the Nocturne with the Talon. Or sorry, rather the Talon with the Nocturne.
Oh my god,
He
this
jumps
Talon has
away.
nowhere to run. I feel sorry for this guy, but he does manage to escape. Master of the shadows and illusion, he just runs away, but that was a mistake, maybe? Oh no.
A little bit greedy from him, but I guess it hopefully shouldn't matter too much. But
Yeah.
the Diana, the Zinzao kills the Ash as well, and the Diana seems to be dying too.
Yeah, right now all of the people in the red team has enough items to go through everybody, every single one. You
They
cannot
can just
challenge.
look to Baron here at this point.
Yeah, but lucky for them, their ADC is down, so I guess they choose to just take the two towers and probably reset.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the safer play. The Baron's a little risky, but I think they could have still done it with the damage that Gwen has at this point, and the Blade of the Ruined King on the Zinzao too.
Yeah, seems like okay, Blitzcrank could be get caught in this back. Maybe one kill in answer to all of that. A little bit of
It's a consolation prize for the blue team, but I don't think it's one that they'll be happy with.
yes, most definitely. I mean, at this point, you get what you can get, right? You've already lost two of your inner towers. There's just one more that's left. They're knocking at your inhibitor doors. You have no vision in the jungle as well. And against a Nocturne, that is going to be difficult.
There's nothing really stopping the red side team from just pushing out their waves and uh, taking Baron and then just looking to end at this point anymore. I would love to see them not stall it out and look to force an end.
Oh, Talon is trying to look for a pick here onto the jungler. That spell shield blocked a huge amount of damage, but the Ash arrow comes in. Maybe if they get this kill, they could convert it into something else. But Nocturne ults and oh my god, quick three kills. The Zinzao is unstoppable right now. He's on a rampage. And this on looks like candy that melts in his mouth. He doesn't even seem that tanky in front of Zinzao.
They seem to be teleporting mid and looking for an inhib with the Zinza while the rest of the team goes for Baron. That
Yeah,
is a pretty smart play, I would say. Hopefully, after that, they can reset and maybe look to push out bot and get Dragon too.
yeah, there's at least one inhibitor guaranteed here with Zinzao pushing. And they get the Baron on top of it as well. I can understand the desperation play coming in from Talon right there. You just had to pick on their jungler when he's unaware of it. But at this point, he's too fed and he has so many avenues to escape or even, do damage back to you.
Yeah, honestly, I think it was a fair attempt. I think it was one that they had to go for. Unfortunately, they just were a little short on damage and they couldn't really kill him off in time before the rest of his team was able to arrive and clean them up.
Oh, now Zinzao's in the hunt. Oh my god, the damage coming in from his third Q is gonna be epic. But there's the Soraka there to save the day, and all those heals coming in. There was a little bit of an overextended, cocky behavior when you're the fed member of the team.
Honestly, though, like I think they're so far ahead that it doesn't really even matter. With how much like he chunked the Dana and how much time they wasted, it's a free dragon for them. It does slow down their Baron push a little bit because there's no one to be in the other side lane besides the Gwen. But I don't think it changes the outcome of the game too much. But it does delay it a little.
Yes, most definitely. It's all fine. I mean, the best that they could probably get here is that outer turret in the bot side, but seems like they're just waiting for the Zinzao to spawn back again. Nothing lost. On the other side, also you can say that Ash is gonna keep farming super minions, probably get her item sooner. Hopefully that's the player.
12,000 goal lead for the red side. Them pushing out both the side lanes, but the waves are not exactly in sync, so it looks like they're not actually going to be able to get much, if anything, out of their Baron.
They probably are just trying to look for a pick here. Maybe the focus should most definitely be the bot lane inner tower. So they're just gathering around, and you can see Talon's already in a very very scary position. Who's gonna even is he gonna be spotted here or is he gonna successfully flank them? Oh yeah, he gets spotted. Now he has to run. They finally do get the outer turret. I mean, sorry, the inner turret, and he tries to go in for the Caitlyn, but Caitlyn still does have a flash. Will she run away from this Talon?
Oof, that
Oh,
was a really
close one.
unfortunate jump from the Talon. I think he was trying to go over the wall, but failed it by a little bit.
Yeah.
Really
I
unfortunate
mean,
when that happens. But I think they should allow the red side team to be able to pressure them off of the bot lane turret and get it with ease.
most
Gwen has
definitely.
enough. Gwen's unanswerable in the side. Like, they need to stop her, but that just means they give over like the bot lane and him. And
Wow.
th- they need to stop their base at this point. Like, they need to go save it.
Yeah, it's just gonna be them against trying to get this. And so I was like, can we just end the game here? He goes right in for the ash, but he can't go back to the fountain now. Okay, this is a little bit of an overreach right here by the red team.
Yeah, I don't think they can end here. It's a little tough for them to try, but maybe with the Nocturne here, they get a couple kills.
All right, we have underestimated the Zinza. Clearly, he can just go in 1v4 and still get a kill. Woo! That's a beautiful combo coming in from the Diana. He saves day with a quad kill. Damn!
Well played by the Diana, but I still think it's just really greedy from the red team to overstay. But honestly, based off of how they've played so far, they've earned it. They've earned a little bit of cockiness. I think while this delays the end, I don't really see the blue side making a comeback still. They have two inhibitors down, almost an open base soon enough. It's really difficult for them to hold on anymore.
Yeah.
In a few minutes' time, we'll probably see the second Baron buff of the game and a soul for the red team.
Yeah, there's a lot of odds stacked against blue side, but I mean, you should see the silver lining. Diana just got a 4K, and hopefully she does build some, items that can help them win the team fights. But talent still remains completely vulnerable in the side lane. That's not something that you wanna use your ultimate on. But seems like every time he's on screen, he's just running from the enemies.
There's a little bit of banter going in the chat. The Talon's requesting the Gwen to let him have the wave, but the Gwen unfortunately does not want to let him have that.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate mid lane crisis. I mean, earlier on, he did have the right. I mean, he did get that one tower shot that costed him his entire lane. But props to the red team, they capitalized on all of the mistakes made by the blue side. So they're probably going to be interesting drafts in the second game.
Yeah, honestly, I'll be interested to see what the blue team comes in for the next game because clearly just letting the enemy team have like a bunch of early game picks and trying to scale hasn't been working out for them this game.
Yes, most definitely. Even though they do pick scaling champions, they have failed to capitalize on their strengths. But that's a beautiful Diana ultimate coming in. Will they just lose this team fight? Oh my god, this quite possibly could be the turnaround. Right here, Caitlyn cannot do anything against so many CC.
Well, do you believe in miracles? Because I think we might see one happen if the red team keeps ending like that. I think that stops them from getting the Baron and Soul for now. But I it actually doesn't look like the blue team can go and collect it. So they're a little unfortunate for them because their base is just almost nothing left over anywhere. It's just a turret with like 300 health or something remaining.
I mean, I don't know what is happening with Red Team. They're not syncing up their waves and they're not waiting. I guess they're like in this last moments where they just want to end the game and move on to the next one already. But you can clearly see they're rushing it a little bit now. They can easily come and take the soul.
They do not want to play slow. They do not want the Baron. They do not want the Dragon. They just want to go for the end.
Oh
And
my god!
it worked out for them, seems like.
Oh
Oh,
my god!
one auto attack from the Gwen was all that was standing between this game's end. But
I'm pretty.
however, it was not able to go through.
I know, but I'm pretty sure both of these teams are having the best time of their lives. They're laughing it out, even the blue team. But yeah, they did get the red team did end up getting the soul. So Good for them. They go get to clean out the Baron as well. Now that they don't have any Nexus turrets to defend against the next onslaught. Let's
Okay,
see.
Hikari, I've said this the last 3 times that
Uh-huh.
this game was about to end. But surely, this time, it has to.
Surely. Yeah.
There's no way that they cannot end with about like an 8,000 goal lead, Ocean Soul, and Baron buff on all five of their members.
Yeah, and you can see Talon just happily walking into the jungle trying to dissuade them from the Baron, but they have to respect that because they are three. If the fight breaks out, it's going to be a 3v5. So,
They're
damn.
finally starting up the Baron as it was interrupted by the blue team, but I don't think they can stop it anymore with the Gwen and Zinzao being up
Yeah.
again.
You can see Diana's already giving up and taking the base back. She's like, okay, yeah, you come to our base, and I have this special ultimate right for you. 3-person Diana ultimate, and we can win it. So that's the only hope right here.
Let's see, let's see. Does it happen again?
Oh, Zinzao is kind
Zinzao
of
caught
like,
out, but the Nocturne diving in onto the Talon. I'm not sure if that's the right target. The
yeah, but
Diana is
like,
unfortunately dead. Could not 1v1 the Zinzao.
I don't think the game is gonna end here because that Orn seems. Alright, we were wrong.
Yeah, the Zinzao just flashed into the base while no one was really paying attention to him and killed it.
Yeah, we were hoping to see maybe a little miraculous play coming in from the blue side, but not gonna happen today. So we'd be heading out to the next game. But
Okay.
I'm so excited to see what these these two teams are ultimately, played each other for a couple of times, I'm sure. Scrimmed against each other. They know their tells and they know they're just having fun. It's like a couple of friends playing against each other. So
Yeah,
it's
isn't that
all.
what League is all about anyway? Have some fun, hopefully.
Yep. And I'm excited for the second batch draft. So yeah, let's see. And if you have not yet um, tuned in, that was Temple of Kings versus the Kingslayers, and I believe it was Temple of Kings with the first victory. We'll
We'll be heading into a 10 minutes break and we will be back with the second match shortly.
Yep, see you guys on the other side.
So now we are heading into the grand finals of the tournament that has lasted about 2 days, where the top team from Bangladesh will face the best team from India so far this tournament, upsetting what the rankings we thought were going to be coming into the semi-finals.
Yep, and seems like the real Ash D Crusher made it through, and
The
his
real always prevails, doesn't it?
yep, he does seem unstoppable in the last game, getting up some early kills, helping his team build it up. And I'm sure people who have watched the um Bangladeshi games on the server are pretty excited to cheer for their team as well, the team Radiance. So we have really top of the top right here. I mean, this I'm thinking this is gonna last like I don't know. I'm pretty excited to actually see what kind of drafts are gonna be pulled up by each of these teams.
Yeah, this is going to only be a best of one, so I think both teams have to show up with their A game right from the start. There's no room for error really. Whoever wins this one game takes it all.
Yes, most definitely. And as we speak about games, we get into the draft. Immediately there is a Mordekaiser ban.
The warrior spirit is
And
never
the
broken.
Zinza rightfully being banned. I guess one of the scary champions that Team Radiance don't want to face.
Yeah, I think it's a champion that's pretty difficult to deal with for most mid laners, so I'm not too surprised to see it being banned away. Just get them off of comfort
Who
and see
dares
what else they
defy
have in
my
store.
will?
And this time, again, Jarvan being banned by the side of Kingslayers as well.
Fear would find your back.
Uh, the Pantheon ban coming again against Dead Corp, I'm assuming.
Yep, sorry, Thorfinn is a really, amazing Pantheon. He is the Pantheon guy, I guess. It's a respect ban towards him.
Oh, okay. So I guess that would make sense considering he played the Zinza mid as well, right? But yeah, I guess both bans towards him so far, then I guess they've really identified him as the threat.
And an Anivia ban coming in. It seems like the Radiant mid laner prefers to play a lot of Anivia in his games.
That champ, if it's in like good hands, is so difficult to deal with. The wall and the ult are just really annoying.
Let me get in there.
Yep, most definitely annoying champ to even siege against, and there is the Tristana ban coming in.
Tristan's pretty good like mid lane and ADC, but I've mostly seen Potato be the one who pilots that champ on this team, so I think it's mainly an ADC ban.
Yep, and I'm excited to see what kind of bans are gonna come up from the other end as well. So they have that strong Caitlyn that helped them a lot in the last game. I mean, nothing wild happening in the bot side, but still was able to sustain and farm well later on into the game as well, getting a couple of items that helped out a lot. So I guess makes sense for them to go for the Caitlyn again.
Yeah, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know? The Caitlyn, like, they didn't really play around it that much last game, but it did its job, I feel. It was able to survive in lane and then output the damage later on. What more can you really ask from your ADC anyway?
Yeah, and that's a Sejuani jungle. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen a Sejuani jungle.
I'm assuming that the reason they've picked it is probably to pair it with some melee top laner or mid, but
Ooh,
not so far at least.
that's old Wayne being picked up now. I am not personally a fan of Wayne locking this early because she needs a lot earlier on in the game. She needs her space, she needs her farm, she needs a couple of more sustain supports with her.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if it's the best pick into Caitlyn considering the range disparity between the two, but we'll see how it pans out. I'm
could
sure
be a
they must
way
have
of
thought of something.
It could be that Wayne top, you never know.
Let's hope it's not picked blind at least, if that's the case.
Yeah, I'm sure that they have a plan here. I mean, I would love for her to be played with a Lulu or maybe even a Jana in this case, just to give her that kind of appeal. I'm sure that they have something in mind for the support to help her especially in those early stages of the game.
Kingslayers picking away the Nautilus, good easy engage, and the Trundle, which is a great pick into the Sejuani. Oh, the draft lobby seems to have crashed for now. We will update you on any information we get regarding it as soon as we can.
That seems
Meanwhile, remember to
তুমি ব্রম চিনো না?
Brom.
Wrong pick, bro.
Sorry.
Same picks except Eric. Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
D আর T তো অনেক দূরে।
just in the recent years, and SMG has put in the work to bring back the league scene. So amazing job by them.
Meanwhile, we're right back into the draft. As I was saying, seems like they've actually changed the Vayne pick to a Tariq, which I guess makes a little bit more
The
sense than a
warrior
blind
spirit
face.
is never broken.
I think those the first 3 picks
Who
is gonna
dares
remain
defy
fairly the
my
same.
will?
They don't wanna switch it up, so it's gonna be Tarek, Vayne, and Sejuani locked in right there. Probably we have some buffs, so we're not able
Fear
to
will
see it.
find your
On the
back.
other hand, it's a Caitlyn, Trundle, and a Nautilus. So right now, the bid is gonna be for the mid laners. I'm gonna see. I mean, we're probably gonna end up seeing a lot of plans happening around the mid lane. So let's see.
Seems there's a Brom hover.
All right.
Oh. No, they did in fact pick the Vayne. I guess there's no changes in draft. But yeah, I like the Trundle pick here. It's great into the Sejuani. If the interaction with how her passive and aftershock work with like Trundle alt can actually make it so she sometimes goes into like negative armor and MR thresholds, which can be a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
It's also a flex between top and jungle, because top Trundle is actually really strong these days, but it's always great in the jungle too. We'll see where that one goes.
Yeah, now-
Brom picked, helps the Vayne be a little more safer. I guess they're just looking to get her through the lane as much as they can.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that Morgana's not being banned yet. I mean, Morgana, Caitlyn, I would want to go up against that lane.
I think it's just because the Nautilus has already been picked, right? So.
Oh yeah,
that's-
my bad. I mean, you could still play Morgana mid. It's nothing. I would love a Morgana mid. That's like one. You're not gonna push me.
Morgana jungle even. It did get some buffs. Patch
Oh,
ago, if I'm not wrong.
really?
Might have been Brand and Zyra. Not sure.
I feel that Thorfinn is the guy who loves playing his AD mid lane. The
That's true.
Zitzas, the Pantheons, the Yasuos even, the Yones even. So let's
Speaking
see.
of AD champs, we have the Aatrox locked in top lane for the red team.
Ooh, that's a strong pick if I've seen any. Like I said,
But
Yone.
the counter pick by the Dead Cop, let's see if he can execute onto it. We recently saw Zeus absolutely demolish a bunch of people playing the Yone into Aatrox. 369 in the semi-finals against JDG, and the Shy in the finals as we go gaming. We'll see if that Cop can make it look equally as broken.
Alright. It's gonna be a soul mid lane. That's a.
I guess it's just a safe blind pick. They're hoping that whatever the red team picks is not going to be strong enough to punish it, as it has a rough lane but scales up to be a really, really strong team fighter. Meanwhile, there seems to be an issue in the draft.
Yeah, seems like the soul was not the pick that they went for. There was a little bit of a oopsie or maybe technical difficulty on the other side. So probably till soul we would be having the same picks, and last pick might be different. It might not end up being soul.
The warrior
So
spirit
far, though,
is
I
never
would say I
broken.
prefer the blue team's draft. I think it's just a little bit more standard. The Vayne Brom, though, like I think if they're punished,
Let me get in there.
it'll be difficult for them to deal with. And the Trundle does, in fact, look like it's going into the jungle, since the Yone I'm expecting is top lane.
Yone could also be mid,
No, that's true actually. That is true. You're completely correct. Actually, I just assumed it was going top because of the soul mid, but we don't actually know if that's picked. So
Yep, there's high possibilities that Yone could be top as well. As you said, it's a very, very flex pick. Assuming that they picked on in the first matchup, I'm expecting them to pick up on in this as well. That would be a perfectly well-rounded comp. You know, you have the tank, you have the damage dealers, everything in a neat package. Just that there'll be a slight deficiency in terms of AP damage, right? So apart from that, I think on would be an amazing pick, if at all they wanted to go for on.
it looks like all the players are just picking up their own champs, maybe because the Yone was picked later into the draft, right? I believe.
Oh, then I believe Yone might be going to.
Yeah, and also I just don't expect Dead Corp to play a tank in general.
Yes. Good to know.
I think he likes to play carry champs from what I've seen of him.
You're right. Okay, on was banned. I see. And that too by their own team. That's a
The
Talia.
pick. Talia, I guess, actually serves a pretty similar niche as the Aurelion Sol. Very weak early, doesn't really do much, but scales on to be a team fighting monster. Does have a little bit more agency at 6 though, I would say.
Oh, that's a beautiful pickup in the terms of Victor in the mid lane. I mean, you have matchup, you can clear waves, you have the damage, I mean, it seems like a good comp on paper, but I'm still very skeptical about the bot side of the map purely because it's a Vayne lane, right? You never expect that lane to fare well earlier on in the game.
Yeah, I mean, honestly though, like I think the blue side team just has the significantly better draft at this point because the jungle matchup should be winning later on. It's very easy for the Trundle to ruin Sejuani's day. The Yone should be heavily winning against the Aatrox. The Caitlyn should not have any difficulties facing the Vayne either. I will say that the mid lane of red side does have a stronger lane. Victor is significantly stronger than Talia in lane. But I don't think it'll end up mattering too much because even though Victor might be stronger in lane, he's not really a champ that can transition it very well. He is someone who just likes to stay in the 1v1 and not really look to move.
Yep, as you said, there are some benefits and some drawbacks. You know, each of the lane have their own advantages. It would be amazing to see how each of these champs is gonna end up being piloted by the people who are, driving them actually. So there's a little bit of skill, gap is also there. Let's see how which team is gonna outplay which team or which team is gonna out macro the other. That's gonna be an interesting take.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think we'll see a very good game from both the teams as we talked about earlier, right? This is the best team from Bangladesh. And so far, based off of this tournament, the best team from India.
Yep, the two titans clashing here in the finals of SMG Weekend Tournament.
Yeah, I think it's nice to have like two different nations in the finals as it gives a little bit of rivalry for the narrative, so that the fans can get a little bit more hyped up when watching.
Absolutely. And for those who are watching and still not subscribed yet or like the video yet, please do subscribe and like our videos because we have a lot planned going in for 2024. So hope to see a lot of support from the community as well.
Yeah, we'd be really excited to have you in our Discord channel and look forward to like playing the future tournaments with you. Who knows? Maybe your team is in the final next time around.
Yep. And there's also a poll going on in our YouTube channel. Whoever you support, you can give them a vote, give them your confidence that they will make it. I personally feel that the red side has a lot of agencies, at least, when they play front to back in the team fight. But that's just me though.
Oh, do you prefer the red side team's draft?
Yep, I definitely prefer the red side team, except for maybe the early game.
That's interesting, actually. I think even later on, like the blue side should just win as long as they're able to execute properly. But yeah, we'll see.
That's an interesting take. I mean, it again, top side is gonna be entirely a skill matchup. Mid fairly gonna be just wave clear and roll. Bot side is where I feel the action is gonna break in this game.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how the Sejuani looks to path, because I feel like both of her side lanes are going to be facing a rough time in the early stages. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Trundle actually looks for an invade. We saw this in a game, right? Like against T1 versus JDG, where along with the Yone, the jungler of the team, owner,
Uh-huh.
actually pulled off an early invade and made it really difficult for the enemy jungler to play. And honestly, I think Ash the Crusher is an amazing player as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see him do something similar, because Sejuani is a champion who, in the early game, is not exactly the best at dueling. If a Trundle shows up in her jungle, she kind of just has to walk away.
Yep, and there's not many champs that can match up to the early levels of Thrundle if you talk about it in the other way as well. And he's lethal tempo as well. I'm seeing that he's a huge fan of this.
Yeah, Lethal Tempo Trundle, like, honestly, is just ridiculously overpowered in a 1v1. Like, with his Q reducing your AD and serving as an auto attack reset, he just whacks you until you die, and there's not much you can do about it.
Yep, I'm excited to see Sejuani is going to be invaded earlier on, or if they have some kind of plans going in. It's going to be amazing. And for, you guys have supported both of these teams right from the beginning. And I see a huge majority of people are voting in for Kingslayers actually for the last game. So I hope that your support is continued this game as well. Let's wait and see how the match is going to turn out.
One thing I would like to point out here is that the Sejuani actually is loading into the game with Aftershock, and I think that is a terrible choice against a Trundle. If you proc that Aftershock and the Trundle ults you, when that Aftershock's gone, you are paper thin, basically. It's not a fun time playing that. Most pro players that I've seen in esports, they generally tend to opt for the fleet footwork simply to deny that from the Trundle. But maybe Winchester has like a plan that I'm unaware of.
I also prefer fleet footwork because it helps stacking your passive faster as well. It gives you a little bit of that attack speed so that, okay, there's a level one going on right here. Who's going to peek in here first?
Not much seems like happening from the invade.
Yeah,
Uh,
but Victor did get that war, so he has like much CS. Maybe he gets to level up early.
that is true. He did get the assist on the board, or sorry, rather the kill. He has gone for first strike, which I think is the correct choice into the Talia. The Talia going for electrocute, which I'm very interested to see. I guess she really wants the early damage.
Yeah,
Besides that, I think the runes are pretty standard across the board.
yeah. It would be interesting now to see both of the jungle are starting on the top side of the map. So there are chances that they're going to end up meeting in the jungle of the bot side.
Yeah, and if that happens, I think it's really bad for the Sejuani. I think she'll just have to give up the Scuttle Crab, and let's just hope that they don't use the Trundle doesn't use like bot lane priority to maybe even look for an invade, because if that happens, the Sejuani is going to be massively behind.
That is definitely true. You can already see the Caitlyn lane being pushed up, and Wayne can't do anything. She's just going to keep taking those headshot after headshot when she tries to come up and farm here.
Yeah, it's a really rough lane that I'm very surprised Radiants have elected into.
Already bullied out of the lane, they have to give that respect to the longer ranged ADC. Now,
Dead
but
Cop
the
using his priority to notice that the Krugs are gone. They now know that Sejuani is pathing bot, and as such, I wouldn't be surprised if the Trundle looks to invade here.
yep, that's
Because
one of.
he has like complete bot lane priority as well.
I would request the observers to align the champions based on the lanes, if possible. So as you can see, the junglers are gonna end up meeting in this scuttle crab, but I think the Sejuani might have to follow this because their bot lane is under the tower.
Yeah, honestly, like I'm not sure what you can really do here as the Sejuani. Like regardless of what side you try to go
Oh
towards.
no, she's getting invaded in the jungle, immediately flashed on by the Trundle. Oh, that Guardian saves her life in the right moment.
The
But she still
kill
goes.
goes over to the Caitlyn. This is great for them. The
Yeah,
Talia
but
has the first move as well.
seems like a huge blunder coming in. I mean, you should have respected that this is what's gonna happen and probably not have tried to go back in after being lowered down to that much of HP, but a little bit of an oopsie.
Honestly, I think this was well played from the blue team. Kingslayers used their priority and the stronger jungle matchup to get an invade and get an early advantage. And the advantage went on to someone that, can actually do stuff with it as well. So Caitlyn is even farther ahead of the Vayne now.
Yeah, and topside the CS lead is mounting up already.
Yeah, this matchup's like really horrible for the Aatrox. There's not much he can do.
Sejuani is trying to look
the
and
Sejuani-
gank here. Wow. That was an easy kill picked up by the jungler. Doesn't have to do anything, just show up.
Yeah,
And-
that cop kind of disrespected the existence of Sejuani. I think he should have known that with the Krugs spawning up, the Sejuani would be topside. So he read it a little bit, but happens, I guess. I think the Yone will still continue to dominate the matchup regardless.
Yeah, I mean, he has so much lead already and he's used his TP to come back in to bully the Aatrox. Really, the Sejuani probably got him right and he put his hand in the cookie jar a little bit, but now that he is back again with full HP, I don't think she even can gank this lane, even if he's this far pushed up.
Yeah, honestly, if I was the Sejuani, I would feel so sad if you see the Trundles just going for her rules as well, and there's just nothing that can be done about any of this. The Victor is the only lane that's being able to hold up, but as I talked about earlier, like he's just not really a champ that wants to move and do things with his lead.
Yeah, he is gonna have that wave clear after he gets 1 or 2 items under his belt. But till then, Talia is gonna have a little bit of, roaming capacity, and Talia being the champ that she is enables her to get to places quite easily. She prefers to not lane against Victor because that's exactly what's gonna happen. She's gonna constantly keep poking you.
But honestly, like I actually really like the play from Sejuani. She spotted that the Trundle was going for an invade onto her bot side and smartly took away his topside camps, despite both the lanes actually having priority. And a bit of an oopsie from the Kingslayers. They did not actually have any wards to make sure that that didn't happen. But yeah, well played from the Sejuani.
Yeah, she at least ends up getting that. Oh no! Oh, Yone really underestimating the Aatrox right there.
Honestly,
With the
though, I
Seraph
think
kingdom.
the Yone is still happy because at the end of the day, the Aatrox flashed away and flashed onto the Yone, and the Yone just had to ult.
Yeah, he is happy with that exchange, but his jungler prefers to play towards the bot side of the map. So as you can see, they are a little bit late for the party here.
Honestly, with the dragon, I think is just gone at this point, and with Aatrox's flash gone, I wouldn't be surprised to see Trundle gank top with the wave like in a bad position for him. And honestly, I don't even think he needs to. I'm pretty sure the Yone can actually just solo kill him at this point.
Yeah, you can see already the CS differential in the top side and the bot side, 20 odd CS down.
I would like to have seen the Trundle reset and actually look towards top here, but I guess this is fine. He's covering for his bot lane.
I'm pretty sure he's happy with whatever's happening in top, and top laner is not really worried about it. They just wanna make sure that this Vayne can never scale.
There seems to be a fight going on. I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, the Trundle tried to go into the jungle and look for the camps again, but had to walk away since none of them were actually off spawn.
Yeah, now you can see Thalia moving towards the top side. This could very well be a dive under the turret if they have enough minions stacking.
I don't think they'll end up diving this. I think not much is gonna come from this. I think they needed to do this a little later. The Yone is like not letting the wave push into him for like his teammates to actually be able to punish him.
Yeah, Yone is pretty happy with where he is. He's just building towards that attack speed items. He's gonna keep bullying his Aatrox, making sure that okay, Victor might end up being caught right here.
That was like the one glimmer of hope I felt they had. If the Victor starts falling behind as well, I feel like this is not looking too good for the Bangladeshi champions.
Yeah, the Radiant really does to play, close to their turrets earlier on in the game, give up some leads. Even they have to probably give up the Herald as well. As soon as Rundle resets, he might look up to getting the Herald, but Sejuani kind of sneaking in right here. But they could have spotted that little exchange going on.
Yeah, let's see what happens. I hope not much, but I think... Oh, solo kill onto the top lane. Aatrox doesn't have flash. The Yone can just Q3. Yeah, well played by that god. But that was just inevitable. Once the Aatrox's flash is gone, he just really doesn't have enough to escape the Yone once the wave is pushing away from him.
Now will the bot side spot that the Sejuani is here? She just goes in, but it's just a Nautilus. You really can't do much damage to him. That's a Sejuani ultimate blown down in the trade.
And now that they've spotted the Sejuani, that's a free herald for them as well. I think the Kingslayers are just winning literally every single thing that they can at this point.
True. It kind of is very counterproductive picking Vayne into a Caitlyn lane. Like it's like you are counterpicking yourself.
Yeah, they've somehow just ended up with like being counterpicked like in 3 of the matchups, like as the red side team. That makes very little sense, but it's fine. I'm sure that they're still not out of the game, right? Like the Kingslayers are doing a great job, and I do also think that they do outscale as well. So I think they're in the lead, but we've seen bigger turnarounds than this in even like higher tiers of professional games. So it's not completely lights out for the Radiants.
Yeah, 2.3k goal lead is not much of a big deal when you look at the champs that are being played on the other side. It's a Vayne, it's a Victor that probably might, blow up in the mid game, but oh no, Aatrox could be in the trouble of being dived in. There are 3 people up top. Sejuani should not be spotted here, or else she's gonna be the victim.
Trying to dive it and do a herald, but thankfully the Aatrox was playing safe now. That didn't end up happening.
Yeah, Sejuani was also trying to cover up for RTO right there, so he doesn't get caught. The spike breaks out in the bot side of the map, but nothing really comes out of it. And I feel bad for the Aatrox a little bit. I never thought that I would be saying this about Aatrox of all champs, because I freaking hate that champ. So yeah, I feel a little bit bad for him.
Yeah, there's not much he can do in this matchup. It's pretty miserable for the most part. The Dragon's coming up soon. The Trundle does seem to be headed towards his bot side. And it seems like the wave is pushing in for the red side. And seems like they will be able to pick this up pretty easily.
Oh no, that was a huge blunder. Really not gonna get much. The teleport coming in from the Thalia. Now it's could be a party in the bottom lane. Victor also teleported in, and
Both
Really,
teams, junglers and mid laners, ended up showing up, but in the end, it was just 1-for-1. Or sorry, not a 1-for-0. I mean, yeah, the
yeah.
Brom died and they didn't really get much. And I think this is also just an easy pickup on the dragon here, because it's actually with the Aatrox teleporting in, it might be a little bit closer.
Oh, that's a beautiful Q1, but he does not have much to follow up. Ends
Yone
up
is
getting
coming in
one.
though on the flank. The health bars on the red team are pretty low.
Oh, he does end up ulting the Vayne. No, sorry, the Victor. But Aatrox is there to save the day. Could this be the turnaround that the red team was looking for? And yes, Aatrox gets his 3 kills, and the chase on to Caitlyn is on. I don't think there's any way that she's gonna end up getting away from this. Gets hit by all of the abilities and goes down. The Aatrox now with 4 kills to his name is in the game.
Yeah, I think like the Kingslayers just disrespected how short like some of the early game respawn timers are. By the time they were onto the dragon, the Brom was already up, and even though Dead Cop might be winning top lane, the Aatrox teleported much quicker, leading to a numbers advantage for the Radiance for like the majority of the fight. And by the time he teleported, it was already too late.
Yeah, and all this time they did have the Herald. They could have used it on the mid lane and tried to look for the dragon fight, but they ended up using it. Did get a couple of platings, but all in the pocket of Ashley Crusher. So there is a poll going on in our chat. Who do you think? Whose matchup are you more excited about? Is it gonna be Death Corporal versus RTO, as in the Yone versus the Aatrox on the top side, or is it gonna be Potato Monster versus Aizen? The Caitlyn versus the Vayne on the bot side.
The
Oh.
Nautilus going in, but actually hooking into his own death, and the Vayne also picking up the kill onto the Caitlyn. There's not
Wow.
much the Caitlyn can really do in a 1v1 if the Vayne is able to catch up.
Yeah, Vayne already has 2 kills to her name. Damn, we were just looking at this as a weaker matchup, and we were wondering how they're gonna survive the lane, but looks like they're thriving.
The matchup doesn't matter if you're just better, yeah?
Definitely. They have a really good team fighting tactics, I would say. I have not really seen the presence, like the impact of Talia, at least in the team fights. Probably
I
try
don't think
to.
we'll be seeing that for a while, to be honest. Talia, like in the early stages of the game, is just way too useless. I think like once she gets like a couple items under her belt, though, is when I would say like she starts being actually useful.
Yeah, but even then, she would want to get those isolated side lane fights, right? She might not be that much of a great team fighter.
Yeah, sure. Compared to like maybe a Victor for sure, I think he can definitely output a lot of damage in a team fight very quickly as well.
But
He's
I
going for like
really
the
am wondering about this Duskblade build right here. I would have preferred an Eclipse build, but looks like that's doing the damage that he required.
the main reason for like picking over like Duskblade is simply that when you don't go the Go Drinker, right, you end up losing a lot of the survivability. But the Duskblade, like the passive on it, that makes you go like invulnerable. It allows you to like actually get a kill in and actually like survive for a little bit longer, to the point where you can reposition or get like your cooldowns up again. Because with lethality, like you cannot live.
Oh,
almost.
there comes the Talia ultimate. Vayne immediately goes into the darkness. Will she be able to get at least 1 kill? Victor comes in to save the day. Oh, she does end up getting the Nautilus, and now looks like the tides have turned, but Caitlyn sneakily gets the Vayne. She might end up getting another, but no, Brom stands on to save the day again.
That Brom actually barely survived. I feel a little bad for the Caitlyn, but hey.
Now there is another huge fight happening up at top. We won. No chance of surviving this.
Yeah, he's just too squishy and too far extended. It's very difficult to outrun a Yone and Trundle.
Yeah, that combo is very deadly, but ends up being a positive for the Kingslayers.
Yeah,
Let's see.
they've gotten the first turret bot, and honestly looks like they'll be getting the top turret too, because the Victor doesn't seem like he's making it in time.
Yeah, they get 2 towers, and there's mid tower as well, very low. Nobody's covering this. Maybe they might end up getting 3 towers as well.
Yeah, so it seems like despite the throw from them at Dragon, the Kingslayers have actually not let that shake their mental and are continuing to play great.
Yeah. Now they have a more agency around the map. They can go inward now. Again, once again, look at Natalia. She's posturing around the bot side to look in for an ultimate where they might end up getting a couple of kills, but rightfully pushed in and backed away by the bot side of Radiance. I still wonder why Vayne still go static shield. Is that still a
Yeah, so the
build?
two options you have is either Static Shift, Storm Razor, or Kraken Slayer. That's 3 actually, not 2, but Kraken Slayer is generally more for when you need more damage.
Uh-huh.
Storm Razor is better for like the chasing and running away and the survival. But Static Shift allows you to clear waves against the Caitlyn a little better.
And then she follows it up with the Triforce as well, right?
Yeah, generally you want to go the Triforce build. It gives you a decent amount of movement speed and sheen proc.
Oh, Talia is getting caught in the ultimate of Rom, but flashes out. Now Aatrox goes in. Trundle might be dying out here soon. He uses his ultimate at the last moment. Yone comes in, tries to ult people, but it ends up going down. Now, once again, the team fights are being won by the red side. Surprise.
Yeah, I'm very surprised of like even though the Kingslayers are able to get the leads, they're kind of not being able to execute the team fights as they'd like.
It seems like they have been getting caught without a proper setup, right? They have not set up properly Caitlyn traps. They just like trying to go in for a ward, and then there's an all-out fight breaking out.
Yeah, people just seem to be getting caught and they're just not getting a proper 5-on-5 that's fair, which honestly it's happened twice in a row now, so I hope that they don't do that again. But props to Radiant for actually like being able to punish on that, for being on the lookout and not being too scared to punish them.
Yeah, this is exactly why I said I like the red side comp a little bit better, because on the blue side it looks amazing, but you have to be very proactive with your comp. You have to be there, set up objectives, try to get someone off guard. But seems like they are the ones who are being getting, caught off guard.
Yeah, that is true. For now, I guess they still have like the prio on both the side lanes though, so they should be probably looking to move mid with the Talia and maybe trying to get a pick.
Now, once again, Thalia is being spotted out in the jungle, but she's being
Brom's
backed up
fancy
by
feet
support.
make it so nothing really ends up happening.
Oh, that's an
Aatrox.
Aatrox. Really, proactive TP coming in, and he goes down really quickly as well. Now they have nothing to go behind and fight, so they have to just scramble. Could this be a Baron picked up by the blue side here?
I mean, I think they can. There's nothing really that can stop them. I feel like they have to they have to send someone to answer the Yone as well, because he's going ham on that turret bot lane. Even if they stall out the Baron, this is still a good play from Kingslayers, as long as none of them die, of course.
Yeah, they really stall a little bit of more time to
Yeah,
get Yone
Radiant
to
were
push in.
able to get the Kingslayers off of the Baron, but as you can see, they're desperate to recall to save the Yone from taking their base. The Aatrox has respawned now, so it's a little bit easier. And as you can see, the Yone had to back off. But great play from them, stopping the recall so that the Yone could get the tier 2 turret. With the buffs in the recent patch, that's actually a lot of gold. It gives you like about 700 gold alone. So the Yone is going to be feeling pretty happy about that one.
Yeah, most definitely. And this is what happens when you have a really quick trigger finger, right? Like you saw that Talia getting caught right there without even noticing that the Nautilus was still with her. And you just teleport in and give away a free kill to the other team. A little bit of an oopsie.
I think there was just a little bit of a communication gap because like the Braum did not seem like he wanted to go in. He was trying to escape. But the Aatrox thought they could catch off the Talia. But yeah, small mistakes like that can cost you the game, you know. This has once again given like the Kingslayers a big lead again. Let's see if they'll throw it once more.
It's like who can throw it faster and quicker.
Yeah,
At
so
this
far
point.
the games have basically just been Kingslayers playing exceptionally well to get a lead, but then making an error on which Radiance capitalize and take it back, only for them to throw it back all over again.
Yeah, now the fight is gonna be about the big purple worm. So let us know in the comments who might end up taking the first baron of this game. Is it gonna be the Kingslayers or is it gonna be the Radiants?
They have left over the Yone to deal. They have left the Victor to deal with the Yone, but I'm not sure if that's particularly a good decision. But I guess they can't really send over anyone else considering the Aatrox doesn't even have teleport at this point.
Oh yeah, Brom might end up getting caught here. They're just forsaking the support, man. I feel bad for this guy.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you're behind, your team's behind, and you're the support, a lot of the times you just kind of have to die. Oh,
That is
the
Yone might
Vayne
get caught
completely
here.
outplaying the Vayne. The Vayne completely outplaying the Yone. And, sorry. That might be a throw once again from the Kingslayers.
Oh yeah, this is a mountain rift as well, so there are a lot of gaps where they can come from, and that is a beautiful Aatrox. Q coming in, picks up 2 kills. He gets the third as well, and there's nothing that he can do about this.
Honestly, though, that was like a great.
Oh, maybe. Damn, that was like a freebie given away just for that.
Yeah, a little greedy from the Talia, but I don't
And
think it.
actually, a
it
wise
returned the best.
positioning by RTO as well. Props to him. He kind of figured that someone's gonna come here to answer this wave, so might as well just wait in the bush.
Yeah, that's true. The dragon is spawning now, and Talia is gonna be dead for it. So it seems like it should go in the favor of the red side.
And it's an infernal rift as well. It's gonna pain a lot. Because next dragon, you just can't give it away. You have to fight for it because it's soul point.
Yeah, honestly, like at this point, like with how the game's going so far, like the red side, even though they've been losing the individual lanes, have just been playing better as a team.
Wayne might end up getting caught here, but the Aatrox is right behind him. Oh, that's a beautiful getaway from the Yone. Just probably if he had landed in one extra auto attack, they might have ended up getting it. But I don't think that is necessary because now they know that the Vayne had to reset to get full HP and they can just go in on the Baron.
Yeah, the Soul Unbound ended a little too early, unfortunately, for the Yone, but it doesn't really end up mattering because they can still force the Baron with the Vayne gone. But the Radiants do a good job of stalling them out to the point where the Vayne can return.
Somehow, man, I feel that they are just being, giving too much respect, if you might, to the red team. They are a little bit scared to be, getting caught doing the battle.
I mean, honestly, over there it was fine because you generally will get a better fight. So I don't think it's too bad, but yeah.
Oh, that ultimate was not even necessary. Now the Aatrox is really answering the Yone back for all of that bullying in the early game.
Now the red side's actually starting the Baron, and I don't think it's easy for them to stop it. However, the Talia is hitting the inhibitor turret in bot lane, so they need to care for that. The Aatrox is teleporting to answer it.
I don't think they can do anything about the Baron. They might just...
The Baron's on, but they're still looking to fight, looks like. But
this was
unfortunately, not much to be gained.
Yeah, they lose their jungler and their support to save them.
Yeah, very well played by the Radiants. They performed really well in that fight and were very clear with what each person had to do, and they executed that beautifully.
Now the Aatrox is kind of unstoppable, and I love the build that he's going for. He's squishy, but then the World Ender, I'm sure, gives him a lot of agency to play the way that he plays.
Yeah, like as long as he can get one kill, right? Like he can live throughout the fight with the dust blade resets.
Was definitely, and to add to that, he has the Shrilda slow as well. Now he's got Edge of Night that's gonna protect him from any initial CC.
With the Baron, I guess like it's really difficult for the side lanes of Kingslayers to really deal with the other ones. Even though like the Yone and Talia generally have the advantage, it's kind of nullified by the big purple one.
Yep, most definitely. And they would like to take away all of these outer turrets. They're still second outer. Oh no. This could
They're
be.
looking for a pick onto the Aatrox, but he's just too tanky for them at this point.
Yeah, surprising even with that build. Like I said, the World Ender is just a little bit too strong for them to deal with at this point.
Yeah, like they kind of just got hit by all of the Aatrox Qs, and even though he's a little squishier than usual, like he does a lot of damage and heals a lot if he lands those.
Yeah, I would say really severe from RTO. I'm pretty sure he loved that dragon fight where he got those 4 kills and he just like did not let go of his lead after that point.
Yeah, they get an inhib and reset, and I love that, not greeding for anything more than they can get easily. Kingslayer's trying to stop them, but thankfully they're respecting it, and the Radiants look for the reset. And
Yeah,
the
this
Kingslayer's
fight,
not able to do much.
yeah, Victor might end up getting this tier 2 as well, but
I
he should
would like
reset
for him
while.
to leave away. Yeah, like I don't think it's worth trying
Yeah.
to risk giving away a kill in return for that tower. Because honestly, I think once his team is on the map, like that turret's death is just an inevitability.
And now we're like 30 minutes into the game. The roles have been reversed. That almost 2k gold lead, not 2k, sorry, 5k gold lead is being taken by the side of Radiance. So let's see how they're gonna pilot this.
Seems like they are grouping up near the bot side again. Surprised that they're doing that considering they've already taken the inhibitor there. Maybe they are trying to look for a fight and then just end it all in one go.
They are probably setting up for the Drake. They don't want to give away the vision around this area because it's the sole point for them, and I'm pretty sure that Kingslayers would not want them to have this.
Oh yeah, you're completely correct. I just like honestly missed the dragon completely. Yeah, once they get this, I think they'll look to probably.
Oh, once again, Braum gets caught, and a beautiful Yoni ultimate coming in. However, he's been exhausted and has to run with his tail behind his back at this point. Vayne is too fed as well. Everybody's still low, but Vayne marching forward. Might she get another kill? She flashes in, might end up getting another one, but the traps save the Trundle. But
Yeah,
right now they can't do
lead
anything.
The lead on the red team was just too much. Like they're just like hitting them with their
Oh
wallets at
no,
this point.
Yone is just.
Oh,
my
he
god!
survives. But not for much use though. He
Yeah.
might get on, but the soul's gone, and it's looking very difficult for the blue team to really get back into the game. If they can somehow stall it out and maybe look for an elder, that's seems like their only possibility.
Yeah, and it's an infernal soul too, man. That gotta hurt.
Yeah, with the Baron coming up in a minute, I don't see this game going more than 34 minutes.
Yeah, most likely they might want to reset, get their items, and probably look to end, of this next Baron play.
Yeah, I think they just need to get their waves in position, go for the Baron, and look to end. And so far, based off of their play, that is what they seem to be doing, and I believe in them to execute it.
Yeah, and hopefully, I mean, team fight really doesn't play in the favor of Kingslayers, I would say.
Honestly, I think it could. They just need to somehow get a pick onto the Vayne, but so far, Aizen's just been playing exceptionally well, and if he continues to do that, it is all but impossible for them to win.
Yeah, and not to forget that every time the Yone goes in, it's gonna get exhausted. And now the Aatrox on top of every freaking item that he has. He has a Guardian Angel as well. Now we have to kill him twice.
Yeah, the Yone just dies and so does the Trundle. It might, they might not even need the Baron at this point. But I think they, oh, the Victor's
Oh, have
dead.
they caught the Victor?
Okay, that means that they will in fact go for the Baron as soon as they can.
Whoa,
And
even
yeah.
while dying, he did a quite amount of damage onto the Talia. But they really can't do anything without their jungle right here, so they just are gonna give up this Baron. Probably set up to
Victor's
defend.
death stalls it a little bit, but it's still looking rough for the blue team.
Yeah, surprising that they're able to siege so much with a Vayne into a Caitlyn.
Yeah, honestly, like as long as you just have like Battlenet, like it's pretty hard for anyone to deal with it. Because they lack a little bit of wave clear on the blue side besides the Caitlyn.
Yes. And they just try to make any picks that they can before they reset, but unfortunately, not really gonna help their cause. And you can see there's already a lot of summoner spells in the side of red team, but there's no flash on the two main carries in the side of blue. So that's something that you'll have to think about in the next team fight.
Yeah, Victor spawned though now, like, and I think they just death ball it down mid and top. And there's not much that the Kingslayers should be able to do to stop it.
Even though the Trundle seemed like a good answer to the Sejuani, really did not play out that well, especially in the team fights. I'm not sure that he's even getting an opportunity to ult her or even go in and sustain with her ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, you saw how the comp was supposed to work, right? Like with the early advantages they were able to get. But unfortunately, they just weren't clean enough in a lot of the setups for the objectives and got a little too greedy and ended up throwing most of what they gained.
Sadly, though, this is just a best of one series as a final, so they might have concede defeat, or maybe are we going to see flashbacks from the last game where they.
The Victor is fighting the Yone, seems like, but seems like the Yone ult did in fact miss, so it should be difficult for him to really kill him anymore. And I think once the Yone dies, or has to reset, the Victor can also just heal up and teleport.
Yep. The Glacier Prison really goes wide right there. One less ultimate to worry about, but the Aatrox comes in, the Braum ultimate does land. Talia is done, now the Caitlyn is sure to follow that. As we said, there's no flashes on their carries. Just now come up on Talia and Caitlyn, but nothing they can do about it.
The
An easy
Kingslayers
close
have
up.
been slain.
That's a really sad note. But amazing gameplay coming in from Radiant. Deserve the victory. There were a lot of questions going in to why they've been giving up counter picks in multiple lanes.
Yeah, honestly, props to them. They went with whatever they were the most comfortable with. They didn't try to counterpick, and it showed. They knew exactly what their roles as each individual player was at each point, and they showed that why they were the best team in this tournament.
Yep, like I said, I really loved the red team's draft purely because they really did not have much of an agency when it came to team fighting at least. So
I think with that, we will probably end the stream for tonight. Please remember to join our Discord, like, subscribe, share SMG content, and stay tuned in to check out all the exciting events that we have coming for you in 2024.
yep, most definitely. SMG's got a lot more planned, not just for League, might be a couple of other games as well. Also, don't forget to continue to support your favorite teams and, continue to support SMG as well. And see you on the next tournament.
Thank you for joining us and hope you all have a great evening.